Check out the brand new How to Become a Better Looking Man course by using the links below. Okay guys, welcome back to another video. In this video I want to talk about life setup. Now, I love life setup, it's my favourite topic. I'm tempted to write a book on it, but I'll see how it goes, okay? But this, life setup, I could do 200 videos on this subject, but this version of life setup is going to be built around how to make your life easier, okay? And one of my pet hates is, I was going to make a separate video on this, but I'll say it now, like 1 in 4 men are happy, according to statistics, and like most men don't even tell you if they're unhappy, so I imagine it's even higher. We've got to change the status quo. This whole come out of school, get a good job, work hard, get a girlfriend, turn her into your wife, have a couple kids, couple dogs, whatever, get mortgaged up to the eyeballs, take a bunch of loans out, go on holiday 2-3 times a year, buy a big family car. I don't think there's a lot of happiness there. I don't think there's a lot of joy in that lifestyle. I just personally think, if you look back at the history of men, we go and jump on a boat, we'd row across to another shore, we'd jump off with our axes, and we just maraud through a village, okay? And I'm not promoting that behavior, I'm just saying, how can you... It's almost like taking a lion out of the jungle, putting him in a house and being like, here's your new pussycat. Why is my cat attacking people when they come through the door? It doesn't make sense. Do you know what I mean? You'd be like, well, it's a lion, dickhead. And I feel as though we as men are just kind of castrated in this generation. Okay, and because of this, none of us are happy. Like I said, we need to change the status quo. And I'm not against things like kids. I'm not against things like relationships. I'm against marriage. But people often get it twisted when they think I say, oh, kids are bad, never have kids. It's like, I can't explain every element of what I believe in a video. But my belief is don't have kids until you're financially stable and you've ticked the majority of your goals in life and your life setup permits you to have time with those kids without it affecting, number 1, the life setup, number 2, your time, number 3, your financial situation, okay? Like your time doing other things that you enjoy and whatever. There's no point having kids if they're going to make your life worse and stuff like that. And this is kind of my viewpoint of the modern man, is that we've kind of been pushed into a scenario where we're doing things that we don't want to do. I truly believe 95% of men are doing things on a daily basis that they don't want to be doing. It's probably higher, might even be like 99%, probably like 95 or something like that. A few people have their dream job and whatever. I'm sure personal trainers are quite happy that they're in the gym or whatever, or like lifeguards are quite happy on the beach, or whatever. People working in like Formula 1 or whatever, behind the scenes in some fashion brands, they're probably quite happy, right? But the majority of men are doing things they don't want to be doing, and they're paying for things that they didn't even want, okay? Like, I believe that men like kids. I believe that men obviously end up loving their own children. But I don't think there's many men in the world that are just, like, obsessed with having children and, like, shopping for clothes and coming up with baby names and, oh my God, he's so cute. Like, my sister's recently had a baby, and I love her to pieces, the little baby's so cute. But I don't think I'd want to sit with her for like 2, 3, 4 months at a time, doing all the feeding and whatever. Like in the future, that I can do an element of that. But you can call me misogynistic if you want, and old school. But I do believe that that's like a female role. I believe women get more of a kick out of that. I believe they enjoy it more. Now, I don't mind waking up in the middle of the night and checking on the kid and whatever. But like my dad always said, until your child gets like 4 or 5 years old, as a man, you haven't really got a purpose. Like, I don't really see the benefit of the father being there until they're of an age where, you can take them up the fields and go and have a kickabout, go and play sports with them. You can take them out for the day. You can talk to them. You can teach them things. You can, discipline them. Like, your role doesn't really start until you get into that mode. I think for the first 3-4 years, they're just mummies, girls and boys. Like, what can I do? I don't really see the point, okay? And I think a lot of guys are kind of like pushed into this lifestyle and they almost think that I want kids, and you go, but do you? Like, do you want them right now? Like, yeah, you want them in the future. I will want kids in the future. But right now, let's say you're 23 years old and your missus is begging you to have kids. She's begging you to get married. She's begging you to get this new mortgage on this new house. And in actuality, you sit there and you go, I don't think I want kids. I'm not ready for them. Okay? And that guy also says, I don't really want to get married because then all my options are off the table. I've got this woman, but, what is, like, marriage is kind of silly. He's got his doubts, but he does it anyway. And in terms of the mortgage, it's on a house that she likes. It's very rarely a house that, the bloke actually wants. The men always compromise and go, yeah, sure, I mean, it's got a load of space for the kids. I mean, and it's like, that's not you talking. That's not you talking. That's why so many guys are unhappy, okay? And what it does is it just creates poor life setup. It creates real poor life setup. Like, if you've ever had one of your mates in a relationship and you're talking to him and he's like, wow, I just don't really want to be out anymore. That whole lifestyle was shallow and, I'm just really committed to my family life and whatever. And you're like, buddy, I'm not wearing a wire. It's fine. And then you're like, well, maybe he's changed, whatever. And then you like walk along the road and a gorgeous woman walks past and he's like this. Just like absolutely zoned in, staring at her ass, whatever. He has a couple of drinks and he starts telling you, actually, I cheated last month. All this shit. Or just, we should go to the strip club. And it's like, yeah, this isn't you. You're not ready for a lot of this shit yet. And so many guys just fuck up their own life early on. Now, before I made this video, I was looking out the window. And a couple walked past, okay? And let's just shit on them. They're not going to care, okay? They didn't look good. They didn't look healthy. He looked massively overweight. They looked tired and drained. And they had 2 dogs. And they're pushing a kid in a pram. And it's quite a big hill out here, okay? They look pretty tired. When you're just like stressed and struggling. He's got his pair of jeans on that's like falling down. You can see his ass crack. Just old trainers that are falling apart. Appearance is just shabby. Just old clothes, whatever, right? I don't judge people too much on that sort of shit. But just create a picture of probably what's going on. They don't have a car. Okay, would you walk up a really steep hill with a kid in a pram and 2 dogs if you had a car? You probably wouldn't, okay? There's a chance that they might be out for a walk. It's a lovely day, but I would say if you're coming up that hill and I guarantee they've got a mortgage because this is more of a mortgage than a rental area. Yeah, I would assume that his life is pretty shit, is what I'm trying to say, okay? But here's the thing, he's done it himself. Like, he has put himself in that situation. He's found the woman, might be married, I don't know. I couldn't see from, that quick, like, kind of look. She's obviously pushed for 2 dogs. Okay, I want dogs. Dogs would be nice. I really want dogs. I've been in a lot of relationships, okay? I've been around a lot of women. This is what they say, okay? They love their dogs. If they can't have the kids, they get the dogs. So the dogs probably came first because they look fully grown. Now there's a newborn in the pram. Okay, and the pram was one of those like shaky, shitty old ones. There's no stability in it. That's another form of life setup, but I'll get to that in another video. And you just think this guy's probably stressed out of his bollocks. He's got no time for the gym. He's providing for 4 people, which obviously 2 are animals, but you've got to provide food for them. You've got to take them on walks. You've got to clean up their fucking shit. It's not a dignified life. Okay, and people will be like, oh, what a great guy. He's a family man. Well, I say people, women, okay? And this isn't a video to hate on women, but I just like to say to men, you've got a choice. Okay, you don't have to go down this route. You don't have to go down this route of meet a woman you don't really want to be with. She's not that attractive, but she's the best that you can get. You can, she wants dogs. Fuck, I better get dogs. There's a cat at home. Yeah, well, yeah, I better pay for that as well. Okay, she wanted that. She wanted to move into this exact house that you didn't really like the look of, but, as long as the missus is happy, happy wife, happy life, all this shit. Now she goes, I want to get pregnant. I want kids. I want 3 at least in the next 6 years. What if you don't? Right? But so many guys are so scared of losing that woman. It's that pussy power. Because they haven't upgraded themselves where they have options. So it's like, oh God, I don't want to lose her. I've got nobody else. She's like my entire life. If she left, I'm a 33-year-old man and I'm single. Like, this is where they get to because they don't have the options to feel calm. Like, if you're in the stronger position with the upper hand, you're going to be like, I don't want him. Oh, yeah, but I'll leave you. Yeah, we'll go then. Like, she's not going to leave, okay? If you've got that much value, she's not going to leave. It's like people say to me, you never want to get married. Oh, nobody's ever going to love you. It's like, I promise you it's not been a problem up till now. I promise you. I've been in relationships with women where I've said I'll never get married and they've kicked off and then I've gone, this just pointless. Like, do the research. It's not going to work. I don't want the contract in place. Like, I think it's disgusting. But marriage or not, you still get me and we still have a relationship. We still do all the same shit. Like, nothing gets affected. It's just you don't get that little Disney princess day. So, you know, are you a pathetic little girl or are you a real woman? Am I wasting my time? And when you kind of put it to them like that, they go, oh, yeah, fine. Yeah, well, I'd rather be with you because there's not many high-value men out there. Like, what am I going to do? Go and find another one tomorrow? Like, I've got one now. He likes me. Yeah, I'm going to fall into line and do what I'm told. I don't see what's wrong with that. Okay? And I'm being selfish there, which is great, because when you're selfish, you have fantastic life setup. If I don't have time for the gym, someone's getting a bollocking. You know, I'm moving my life around, or if somebody's fucked it up, I'm like, you fucked that up. That's your fault. Why have you done that? Like, I'm not doing this anymore because I've not got time for the gym anymore. It's unacceptable. I need to be there. That's part of my life setup. I want to be there. I can't have that taken away from me. Okay? It's like when I say to people, have a marketing brand, for example. Like, people have a marketing brand and they're like, oh, I'm just so stressed. It's like, of course you are, because you've got bosses. When you've got like a marketing brand, what you need is clients. When you've got clients, they tell you what to do. They set deadlines. That's terrible life setup, because now you work for them. It's not enjoyable. It happens in every walk of life. It happens in business. It happens in relationships. It happens in your living conditions. It happens in the way that you manage your time. It's like, take that guy outside, for example, that I saw. If he's got a kid, if he's got 2 dogs and a missus and a mortgage and whatever, and he can't afford a car, it would seem, and his clothes aren't, you know, a high level, he's obviously not taking care of himself, not going to the gym, fair enough, it's the life that he's chosen, he's put in place for himself. But if he ever wanted to change that and get out of that situation, we can't really, because his time and his money is now tied up with those people. His missus, his kid, and his dog. I keep saying people, it's just easier, obviously they're animals. But all of his shit is tied up. Like, if he wants to start a business, it's probably going to take him 20 years when it could take me 2 to get the same results, because I'm free as a bird. I can do whatever I want when I want. I can work late hours, I can work early mornings, I can work weekends. If I've got, for example, I'm about to put 12 grand back into all my products. I'm going to do boxers. Well, you guys know I'm doing the boxers, the natural diuretics, creatine, and the men's lifestyle supplement, and potentially a body wash for men. Or I might do those strong collared shirts. I just want to do one more. But it's a guaranteed 12 grand going out the door today, tomorrow, whatever, whenever I can pay this shit. And when they've sent through the invoices, I mean. And when you think about that, that's £12,000 that most people would put towards a family car. Oh, I've just got her pregnant, I can't pay for that sort of thing because we're going to need a car, or she wants to go on holiday this summer, or she wants to get married and we're saving up for that. And it's like, that isn't going to benefit you one bit. Like, your life is going to suffer because of that marriage. Like, financially, you're fucked. The relationship's probably going to end because divorce rates are at an all-time high. It's like, marriage just seems to fuck up the relationship because of that contract. Everyone feels trapped. And the other thing guys forget is if he's gone into that, marriage scenario, so just to finish off there, he's not got the same time and money. It's going to take him longer to do things, even if even if it doesn't, he's not allowed to do these things because his kids, are going to need things. His missus is going to need things. If he spends that money, he's going to get shouted at and whatever. Like, he can't do it. And family pressures too. But this is also, to go back to the other point, what so many guys forget, okay? If you don't have the time because you're investing in it, because your life setup is shit, and you've decided to have a child before you could afford it, and you decided to get married and get a mortgage before you could afford it, and your missus is always on to you for like, let's do this, let's spend time together, I want to see you on the weekend and whatever, like, all this stuff's going on, and you've got no money, so you're ending up saving in the wrong areas, so your clothes are shit. You're not buying the skincare products that you might need or grooming products you might need. Like I said, you've got, for example, let's say you're wearing like old trainers. I know it's clothes, but that's always like a turn off for women. You just look scraggy because you can't afford, like I said, the grooming products, whatever, like the shavers and whatnot. You're sacrificing your gym membership because you're like, well, she wants to save for marriage, so I better. Once you go through all this and you can't get a car and you have to walk everywhere, well, what's going to happen because you've got poor life setup, because you've let her decide on your options, or life, or the status quo, or family pressures decide what you want to do, or the kids that you didn't want, at that time, or the dogs that have been added to your life that you didn't want, or the mortgage that's hemorrhaging you in terms of finances. Well, what ends up happening is you become worse. you end up looking like shit. You end up becoming less attractive. You become, less mysterious to her. You just become less of a viable option. And then what tends to happen to these guys is the woman leaves him. And he's like, oh, what the fuck? Like, I put all this effort. She doesn't care about that. And I just think going down that route of the status quo of doing the whole family, marriage, kids, mortgage, like happy wife, happy life kind of setup, I just think it always leads with you suffering. It's like guys who give everything to a woman in a relationship. And yeah, I'll do that, it's fine. Yeah, I'll come pick you up. And they're the nice guy and they always look after her. And she goes, don't go to the gym, I want you to stay in with me. Come on, eat pizza, it'll be fun. He does all this. She goes and finds someone else and he's left then picking up the pieces. And he's like, oh great, like my heart's been broken, I've got to go and find someone else. But now I look like shit. I don't look like I did when the relationship started. There's a lot of this going on, okay, in terms of like guys with their life set up. Like, you have to make your life easier. And look, I'm not doing this video to put women on blast and stuff and point them out and be like, they're the problem, okay, guys? I don't ever want to do that. I don't want this channel to turn into that. I want to respect women, but I also want to notice where the mistakes are, where the potential pitfalls are, because so many guys are getting fucked off these issues. But you just have to make your personal life easier. And if you don't make your life easier, like I said, it's not hating on women, it's your fault. Like, if you let her get away with that, to say, I want that house, and you go and do it, then you're the problem. If she says, I want kids, and you're not financially ready, or in a position where you're ready, and you do it anyway, it's your fault. Like, if she says, I want to get married, you want to put 20 grand into this idea, no, you're going to put a ring on my finger first, otherwise you'll lose me, and you give in and go, yeah, all right, love. Don't be shocked when your life is shit. Don't be shocked as well when she leaves you because she's got no respect for you because you don't have a backbone. Don't be shocked when you've got no money and you're like, oh, she doesn't look like she used to, I should have took that opportunity. Like, that's all life setup. The choices that you make create your life, okay? It's with women, it's having kids too soon. It's taking a job that's too stressful, that's long hours, and your boss is on your balls on weekends. Like, none of that. I don't want any of that. I don't want any of that. I'm permanently free to do whatever I want to do every single day of my life. Okay? Why do I not seek investment for my men's streaming platform? Why am I just taking a little bit longer and I'm going to fund it all myself? So that when it's built, I've got complete creative control over the whole platform. That's life setup. I don't want some investor being like, well, I'm not happy at this one. We're getting some negative press off there. I don't care. I don't want that problem. Like, don't come to me with that problem. Fuck off. Get out of my business. And I don't want somebody to put a percentage into the company, a lump sum for a percentage into the company, and then dictate where we go. Let's say in 5 years' time, they're like, well, if we introduced female content, we could compete with Netflix. Fuck off, because that's not the idea. If that's the case, I'll sell the company, because I'm not interested in it anymore. That's not where I want it to go. Do you see what I mean, guys? Like, these sort of decisions create your life setup. Everything you do should be for value added and happiness. Like, I would never be in a relationship with a woman that can't drive. It's just a simple little life setup thing. Oh, why would you do that? Because if we, not necessarily a relationship, I would never get a woman who can't drive pregnant. And if I was in a long-term relationship with a woman and I wanted to get her pregnant, I would pay for her to have a car, insurance, driving lessons, etc. Because having to pick her and the kid up every time it rains, having to take that kid to school in the morning and pick them up and whatever, and like, oh, we're out, can you come and get us? Like, fuck off. I'm not your chauffeur. But at the same time, you don't want your missus and your kids walking around in the cold, soaking wet. Oh, it's dangerous. There's weirdos around. It's just a shit show. You don't want that, so you're going to have to force to be doing it. You're like, oh, can you come pick us up? Well, I kind of have to because that's my kid and my missus. What can I do? But if she could drive, problem solved. Do you see what I mean, guys? That's life setup. That's how you make your life easier for yourself. You look at things as a holistic picture, and you go, that's going to affect my life. That's going to make my life worse. I know so many people that start businesses. And within 6 months, they're complaining about how annoying it is. And I'm like, I could have told you that at the start. The business that you picked was shit. The industry that you're in is shit. It's when people are like, I'm going to start my own barbers, my own hairdressers, whatever. And it's like, I guarantee you're going to be pissed off with that. Like, relentless appointments on your feet all day. Like, that's not fun. Go and do an IT job. IT job, same if not double the money, and you get to sit down in front of a screen all day. Okay, you can have your coffee, you can just click about, you can listen to music. It's just, like go and get a HR job. They're very easy. You get like 3 days at home per week. Like make your life easier for yourself. Oh, but Chris, I need a car because my job is 17 miles away. Change jobs. I know that sounds easy, but change jobs. Go and get a cheaper rent, change jobs, have a better life set up. Now you don't need a car. Now you got more money. Now you got more time for the gym because you're not traveling an hour and back to work every day. So you've saved 2 hours, you've saved money, you're happier, you're less stressed. Your finances aren't crippling you. Like, it's pretty easy, right, guys? But nobody wants to make their life easier. They just want to fit in with the status quo and make other people happy. That's not my plan. My plan is to make myself happy, give myself amazing life setup, impeccable freedom, happiness through the roof, add as much value as possible to my life. And that's the way you go about it. It's like I made the video recently. It's not your job to save older women. A lot of people kicked off, and I'm going to make a full video on this soon, explain, my point in depth, because 60 seconds wasn't enough. I say a lot of people kicked off. It's like 98% like ratio. It's just the women that are that age that got a bit disgruntled. But it's not your job to save older women. So if you've done well for yourself, you've made a lot of money, you've put yourself in a great life position with life setup, and then some 30-year-old woman, because let's say you're 30, is making you feel guilty, saying, oh, you're a paedophile for looking at going after these younger girls that are like 21, 22. No, I'm sorry, love, you did the same when you were younger. You went after older men, so don't give me that shit, okay? And she's making you feel guilty, and she's like, you should settle down with me and whatever, and you eventually give in and go, yeah, maybe I should, and she's like, well, you can't get she's pressuring you. Can't get the younger women anyway. Or she says stuff like, what, are you scared of commitment? Like she pressures you into doing this. That's another format of life setup. If you say no to this woman, you go off and you go and get with a younger woman, you're very likely to be happier. Okay, because if men and women are the same age, they age at different rates. By 40, she might look terrible. Very likely she will look terrible. You're going to look fantastic in your prime. It's not a good life setup because now you're no longer happy. You might have to get divorced. You might have to, share up the assets. It's just going to fuck you up. Whereas if you're 40 years old and the woman you're with is still 28, 29, she looks fantastic, you're still happy, healthy sex life, you're not looking around at other women, it's protecting your financial set. Do you see what I mean, guys? I'm trying to use as many examples as possible. But this is what it's all about. Finances, business, your job, your travel to work, like what age you have kids at, whether you get married or not. These are all decisions that when you add them up, are going to seriously impact your life, either positively or negatively, based on the decisions you make. It's all causality. Don't sit there in 10 years' time and be like, this last year was really difficult for me, that's why I'm broke. No, you're broke because the last 10, 15 years have been shit decisions and choices. You've just messed up. You just made shit choices. Always protect yourself. Every decision you make, sit there and think, how is this going to impact my life? Is it going to add more stress? Is it going to take time away from me? Is it going to cripple my finances? Is it going to give me less money to play with? Am I going to have to stop going to the gym? Am I going to have to stop the 5 holidays that I take per year? Stuff like that. If I take this job, it's more money, but I'm going to have to travel. I won't have time for this, and it's going to stress me out, and it's long hours. You don't have to take it. Or you just do 1 year, and then you get out. But you don't have to take it, guys, okay? Make your life easier. Free up your time, free up your money. Just stay fucking liquid. Stay agile. Stop putting yourself in cages and corners. I'm just seeing this so often. Every guys are arresting themselves. They're handcuffing themselves. It's madness. Check out the brand new How to Become a Better Looking Man course by using the links below.